Evan Cohen. What do you want to do? Get old boy irritated? Tell him what he thinks or what he said when he didn't say it. Aaron Rodgers said exactly what I was expecting him to say yesterday. If you're tuning in to the Pat McAfee Show for some sort of announcement, might as well turn it off right now, which, again, I don't know if Pat McAfee necessarily wants him telling people to turn it off, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, McAfee lets guys be themselves, so I don't think he cares.
So do we.
McAfee was hanging out at the PBA tour in Indianapolis yesterday after the show. Did you see that?
I did not.
Big day for bowling yesterday across the board.
Huge. Not as big as it will be. When are you going to be on the call for Bullstream TV?
That's Sunday, Jason. Sunday, Bullstream TV, state championships.
Don't want to miss that. So Aaron Rodgers appeared.
Does Becca go along with you on that? Does Becca go up there and
No.
support you up there, or you go solo?
I asked her if she wanted to go a handful of years ago, and she said no. And then I actually brought it up again because she doesn't have any plans this weekend. And I said, well,
Yeah.
you can come to Wausau if you want. And then she said, you don't actually really want me to go because that would be miserable for me. You know that, right? And I said, yeah, I know. Hadn't offered it in a while.
What would be miserable? She doesn't like watching bowling.
I guess not. No.
Okay.
She doesn't like when I turn it on
Everybody's got
TV
different
at home.
interests.
She doesn't really like going bowling. That's probably one of our biggest
That's
differences.
what makes this country great.
Yeah.
People can like what they want, and that's something.
You know, for a couple of guys who want to talk about Aaron Rodgers, you're talking about Becca instead.
That was McAfee adjacent.
Jesse started talking bowling, and he's got a big bowling. This is the highlight of his bowling deal.
One of the biggest weekends of the year.
TV.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers discussed his future with Pat McAfee. Here's what he said.
I've talked to Mike. I've talked to Omar. There's been no deadline that's been put in front of me. There's no contract, offer or anything. So there's nothing that I'm, having to debate between. I'm free agent, and again, I'm enjoying my time with my wife and enjoying this part of the off season, and I think there's conversations to be had down the line, but right now I'm not. There hasn't been any progressive conversations. I love Mike, and Mike and I have kept in contact over the years. I've had conversations with Omar. I really, I think Omar, enjoyed having me there. I think the guys, had a positive response, to our time together. But again, there hasn't been any deadline set on me. There hasn't been any contract, floated in front of me for me to well, we're giving you till, March the 8th to make a decision on this contract. There's been nothing to that respect.
Omar Khan is who he's referencing. He is the GM for the Steelers. Mike, of course, is Mike McCarthy, the new head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He also discussed his feelings for Mike McCarthy.
I got a question for you. I got a quick question for you. I know you don't care what Aaron says, and I know you don't care, and that's fine.
It's not that I don't care. It's that I don't think our fans care, first of all.
There's a fatigue. There's a Rodgers
yes.
fatigue.
I think it's different now. I think it's different because of the Mike McCarthy component of it.
Jesse, if I may, the question I have, because all this stuff is cute, but Packer fans are going to be fine if Aaron Rodgers goes and plays with Mike McCarthy. I think actually they would appreciate it, love it. That'd be great. How would Packer fans feel if he is the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings? Does that flame get reburnt? Is it going to be piping hot? Or is it he can't play no more, he's old, it doesn't matter? What happens? Because it's great that Rodgers comes up, and we had Mike on. Mike, we love Big Mike. Rodgers and him in the basement eating meatloaf, sipping on tea afterwards would be fun. I think everybody would enjoy that story. That's cute. But the Steelers, they are where they're at. I think Mike's got a big job ahead of him, finding the next quarterback and maybe getting Aaron for a year. But what this really comes down to is last year it would have been a big-time operation had Aaron Rodgers went to Minnesota. Didn't work. I think by some accounts he wanted to. I think Minnesota should have. They didn't, thankfully, and they struggled. How would Packer fans feel if he goes and is the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings? I think all those embers that have been cooled and doused, I don't think they would be gray hot, but they definitely wouldn't just be smoldering. I don't know where Packer fans' vibe is.
Is gray hot like red hot?
Gray means they're, piping. Yeah, red.
But usually they're red. You can see the red underneath.
Okay. Jason, I misspoke. It's red. Red hot. Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
The black turns to gray, and then the gray gets to red, and then, so that's on me. I misspoke, and how dare I misspeak?
It was no. God dang it! No, I thought maybe you were saying that it's not that hot. That's why you went with gray. I wanted to clarify that.
Jason, I'm trying to figure that out, and I did say gray hot, and I should have said red hot. Is it where they're smoldering? We could go with the Smokey the Bear reference if you want to go 1 to 5. We could go with whatever system we have to see where passion is at. I was going with a campfire. I screwed up. That's on me. But I don't know. I am very interested if that plays out. Where is that passionate, I don't want to say hatred, but I can tell you this. When Favre went up there, it was smoking hot. It was embers. It was forest fire hot. Where would it be at if he does? Because I'm listening to him yesterday, and I don't know where his head's at. I know he doesn't want to go through a full off season. It's fairly obvious to me.
I would agree with that assessment.
For a while. He's got his wife. He's got a lot of stuff going on. I think he would love, if he's going to play, to come in June, July, and go play for a team he thinks can win a championship. I don't think he wants to hurt anybody's feelings in Pittsburgh. I think if that's the option, he really wants to go. Do I think if he gets an opportunity to finish his career and go play for Minnesota, do I think he would be clamoring for that? I do. And if he does, how would Packer fans feel? I don't know the answer, and I'm very intrigued by it.
I don't know the answer either. We can't really take calls at 11:19, so maybe you guys want to do this tomorrow.
Well, Jason, what do you think? You lived through the Favre stuff. It won't be that hot,
It
right?
will definitely. Well, because it won't be Aaron Rodgers wanting to stick it to the Packers. It'll be Aaron Rodgers. Let me rephrase: gray hot, red hot. It will not be. He is solely and completely obsessed with sticking it to the Packers.
That I
the way
totally
Brett
agree
Favre
with.
was.
Okay. Yep.
Is it a fringe benefit of playing the Vikings to stick it to the Packers a bit? Sure, of course. Will he be fired up when he returns to Lambeau Field as a Viking? Sure. Again, and I know insiders get things wrong. They get bad intel from all the agents that they carry water for and whatever else. But in fairness to Diana Rossini...
Targeting! That was targeting. Is that how you do that, Jesse?
He gets it.
That was targeting, right?
Nailed it.
Yes!
That's growth.
Okay!
Good.
I'm getting it. I'm starting to understand it. Okay.
Diana Rossini did a story about the interest level of Aaron Rodgers and the Vikings mutually, and that it didn't end up happening last year. And it sure sounds to me like the general manager, who's no longer there, kind of said, no, we're not doing this. And maybe the ownership, who wanted to give J.J. McCarthy a fair shake. After what happened last year, you're telling me that Kevin O'Connell isn't interested in Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback for next season? I mean, they managed to finish, 9-8?
Yeah, they battled back. Big win at the finish of the season.
Won the Super Bowl.
I don't think anyone covered it better than Channel 3000 and ESPN. Nobody covered that game better.
No one saw that as a meaningless game for them, that's for sure.
No one saw that game, period.
Good one. So I look, the most compelling stories There's two options here. One is him playing for Mike McCarthy again. Extremely compelling. The more compelling, in my opinion, is him playing for the
Packer
Vikings.
fans.
Yeah.
No doubt. Jesse, how hot would that fire be? If Favre was a 10 out of 10, let me paint you a picture.
Favre was like a 25 out of 10.
Favre was like a 40 out of 10. Yeah, rephrase that. If you could bet 100, I'd have bet 500. Is that how Homer does that?
I think that's a similar concept, yes.
Rodgers is 5-0 with the Vikings. The Packers are 4-1, and they're coming in for a Sunday night game at Lambeau. Where is that fire at?
The fire for that game specifically would be a 10 because it would be Rodgers' first time playing at Lambeau as an opposing player, just like the first time Favre came back, especially if he's doing it with Minnesota.
Yeah.
To our knowledge, Rodgers was not like calling the Lions and giving them intel about the Packers' offense like Brett Favre
No, I don't
also
believe
did,
so.
right?
No.
Yeah, I also the way the fan base was split on Favre added fuel to that fire. Say what you will,
They
it
completely
was
left the franchise.
Yeah, I lived.
Some guys left the franchise
Hey,
completely.
You were busy. You were playing. I was there as a fan. I recall very much a split among the fan base.
Oh, yeah, no denying that. Tausch
Yeah.
knows that.
They
He
gave
went to
up their
practice
stock
every day.
certificates. Guys gave up their
Yeah.
stock certificates and traded jerseys.
So there's no one split on whether it was the right time or not to move on from Aaron Rodgers when they did. Like there isn't that component of things which limits the fire danger, however we're measuring that.
Yeah.
So it'd be like overall it'd be like a 7 out of 10, I think, if he went to play for the Vikings.
Really?
And by the way, let's clarify something from Jesse there because of his clear memories of him defecting from the Packers fan base.
Just completely leaving the franchise.
I don't think
I'm not 100% sure we could ever give him full voting shares back.
No,
after
exactly.
That, traitorous
Couldn't agree more
activity
on
they
that.
did.
Let's be honest here. When the Packers in training camp of 2008 were moving to Rodgers and Favre came back and landed on family night, and again, I still love the fact that when I was retelling that story to Jordan Love, he was like, he landed a helicopter on the field at family night? No, Jordan, no. But then the fan base was undeniably split. No doubt about it. When he went to the Vikings, it was not split. Jesse, you as a defector was in the distinct minority.
Less than 10%.
Yes.
It wasn't
fans-
0, but it wasn't
Right.
10%.
Most fans didn't do what you did. Then they went from being, I'm a Brett Favre fan, to blank this guy, he's going to the arch rivals to stick it to
Absolutely.
us. So
No
let's
doubt.
not lose sight of the actual history there. That said, I don't think it's going to be as strong if Rodgers were to end up there.
I agree.
I just don't see it that way. Plus, it's like it'll be 3 seasons removed going into a 4th season as we struggle with years since he left.
Yeah.
Right? Favre was one year he
I think
got
I
a cup
have
of coffee in New York.
I think I have it. This is one of those where the coals are simmering and somebody brings one of those stokers in and rustles it up and you see some orange fluffing up. That's what I think this would look like.
I would agree. That has been your Aaron Rodgers longer than a minute.
I forgot we had all these fire Smokey the Bear images that fans helped make a year ago. This is good.
Jason, I would say Rodgers, I think now is in that point where with Packer fans that he's almost like the grandpa, right? Where it's like, oh, it's great. You tell old stories. It's great. You go sit down. You'll hang out in a minute. It's like, it feels that way, and that could be re-spurn up, if that makes any sense. It just feels like it's comfortable, and Packer fans are like, oh, it's cute. That's nice that you're out there in Pittsburgh trying and competing. We just went in there and whooped you this year, and if you go to Minnesota, we'll do the same. But if Minnesota's got a really good team and they start doing that, all of a sudden, it ain't Mr. Nice Grandpa. It's old Grandpa. Yeah, old Grandpa's going to come out and
I do think the whole thing would be different if he didn't get hurt against the Jets in that first year. If he goes out to the Jets and they play well that first season, then there's more drama and more
While the Packers were
discussion.
struggling
Yeah.
a little bit, it could have
But
been a whole different animal.
Because of how that played out the first year he was gone, that totally changed the complexion of this whole thing.
Jelly, that's a great point by you. I just want to make sure I'm being crystal clear. That is a great point by you.
And a great job about abandoning the franchise and still cheering for Favre when most fans weren't.
I don't know why fans have given Jesse such a break.
It's a great question.
I've never really pieced it together that means I was rooting against Tausch in all the times we've talked about this.
You just
That's
came
fair.
to that realization now.
Yeah, I never really thought about it like that.
What
Thursday,
a sellout
March
you
5th,
are.
2026.
I didn't realize you're such a sellout, Jell. That's a...
Sorry.
17 years removed from your defection, you now realize
I came
that?
back.
How many years did it take for you to come back into the fold?
When the Vikings were falling apart in 2010 and he banged his head
It was when
on the turf
I
in Minnesota.
graduated college in 2014, and that's when I really realized, all right, like the Packers.
So you
did
didn't
this
celebrate
entirely
the Super
right.
Bowl championship at all?
No. I was rooting against
That's
Pittsburgh.
crazy.
Like I wanted the Packers to win that Super Bowl, but
What a weird...
They weren't-
that is
you
an
think
interesting-
I'm a
wow.
weirdo?
they weren't my favorite team when they did. Correct. Yeah.
No, I think you're a weirdo for a lot of other reasons. I get your whole point on not being a fan. I don't always agree that that's how you go, but I'm not litigating that today.
Good.
In Jesse's case, it's just flat out weird. And by the way, did you have to go through an appeals process to get back in? Like, we're a welcoming committee over here. Like the Packer fan, we want fans. We welcome all. But yours is very traitorous. Like, what you did was very traitorous.
Benedict Nelson.
I don't think 12
I'm not
years later I
sure
need to
we-
go through a new appeals process to
I think
regain
you
my
do.
fan card.
All right. Look, it's 11:28, and this is
Yeah.
still the first segment of the hour, and we kind of got to it
Well.
on time. So if